single ladies over 22 who are interested in bald older men? Got very quiet. That's what I was afraid of. That's what I was afraid of. Yeah, I actually found it funny. You notice I'm dressed kind of nice. I thought it was funny. Rick was making fun of being the single guy at the wedding because that was me about a couple hours ago. And, you know, I don't mind it so much. You know, it's fun. You know, you get to dance. You get to scope all the bridesmaids, checking for wedding rings. You know, you get to have that whole fun experience. The thing that I don't like about being the single guy at the wedding is that undoubtedly you're going to run into somebody you knew like a long time ago, and they're going to be there with their wife and like their 3 kids. They're all happy and flirty, and then they see you and they're like, oh, hey, and they're excited to see you, and you start catching up, and you know, and the funny thing is they're really happy at first, and you're really happy, and the conversation's going well, and they're like, what you doing with your life? I'm like, man, things are great. I'm selling real estate, you know, I'm doing some comedy, things are going well, and they're like, good. Dating anybody? You married? And they're like, you know, no, but you know, things are great. But as soon as you say no, like, you're fine, but their whole demeanor changes to this one of like empathy and compassion and concern. I don't know what it is. It's like, yeah, I'm single. Oh. Paul? It's gonna happen for you, okay? No one deserves someone more than you! And I'm sitting there going like, I'm good, I'm fine. And then like the wife gets involved. I know, I didn't think I was gonna find anybody. And then I met Scott, and he was so wonderful. And now everything's happy, so you just. Thanks, nope, I'm good, I'm really happy. You know, you learn how to cope as a single man. You know, I'm getting up there in years. I don't want to say how old, don't want to completely ruin all my chances with everybody here. Already did? Okay, no problem. And I'll just say I'm 30, might as well go for broke. But the problem is, now that they've consoled you, they feel this need to go into giving advice. I didn't ask for it, I'm fine. But now they have to give advice, and the problem is nobody has come up with new advice for single people in like the history of the world. Like before Adam and Eve got married, like Adam's like buddy, who didn't even really exist yet, gave these words of advice to Adam. He like married Eve, right? And there's a couple, you've all heard these before. My favorite. Well, you know, Paul, love is going to happen when you're not looking for it. What does that mean? Is it that obvious? Am I like going around, where's the girls? Where's the girls? Paul, you're looking. Stop looking. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? Am I just supposed to walk around like this? I don't see any girls. There'd be girls all around them. It's like, I don't see you. Walk into the mall, cute stores, cute girl on there. It's like, here, I'd like to purchase this. Is everything okay? Yes. But I might be in love with you, so I can't look at you. Love's gonna happen when I'm not looking. Then, of course, there's the blatant advice. And this advice, I mean, this means nothing. And it's actually universal. You can use this bit of advice to console anybody who's having a difficult time. And people who say it, pretty much all they're saying is, I don't have anything better to say, so I'm just gonna say this blatant, universal words of advice. And they'll say, well, you just need to be patient. You know, yeah, you know, you're right, because, you know, I was trying to do stuff, but maybe if I'm not happy now, I just need to wait for it. And the thing is, you can use that, just be patient. You can use that for anybody who's struggling, right? I just lost my job, just be patient. I'm having a hard time with school, just be patient. I can't find a girl, just be patient. If everybody in the world actually followed that bit of advice as often as we get in, everybody in the world right now would just be sitting there waiting. Wake up in the morning, you see like all of your family just sitting down in the living room. What you guys doing? We're just being patient. We're just waiting. Life sucks. It's gonna wait around here till something better comes along. And then, of course, you have the apex of advice, which, again, is just as meaningless and worthless. love is gonna happen when you least expect it. Because this whole time I've been walking around, like, am I most expecting it? Am I just constantly walking around always expecting, like I'm at the apex of expectation, that love is always just right there in front of me, and I'm just expecting it to happen. I wake up, I leave my, like open my door slowly to my... Open up my car door slowly. Driving to work, come on new girl at work. I'm at high expectations. You see, if that was true, if it really was going to happen when I least expect it, because I know when that is, I figured out when would I least expect love to happen. And I had this epiphany, and it was when I was on a road trip, and I was in a Circle K, in a single stall bathroom. And I'm sitting there, stall door closed, doing my thing, and I'm like, I absolutely do not expect to find out. So by that advice, that is when it's gonna happen. I mean, there's probably a girl outside this bathroom door right now who like tripped. She's gonna trip, break in the door, roll 3 times, slide, and her head is gonna pop into the bathroom stall and I'm gonna make eye contact. They were right! Dating. What a pain. Does anybody here actually enjoy dating? Can I, like, applaud? Just be proud if you enjoy dating. Woo! Okay, that sounded desperate. Were you advertising? Yeah, dating. And we all know dating is difficult, it's frustrating, finding a connection, rejection, heartbreaks, heartaches. And we all know why. It's because men and women communicate differently. Men, when we communicate, we say what we mean. Women, when you communicate, you say every single thing except the actual thing that you mean. You will talk around it, up through it, go around it. You will avoid every single word that is actually the sentiment that you actually mean, and you will say everything but that. Makes it very difficult. This is a true story. I wrote a blog about this. I'm not a huge blogger, but I wrote a blog about communication. And you know how men are more direct and women are a little bit more indirect, to put it nicely. And this who did an anonymous post, she didn't want to let me know who she was, she comments on this, and she was like mad. She was like offended at my post that I would dare say these things. She's like, men are just as confusing, okay? I didn't hear her, I'm reading this, but this is the voice that she said when I'm reading, right? That's what I envision in my mind. Like, I was on a date with this guy, okay? And he held my hand, and I liked him. And at the end of the date, he said to me, well, I don't want to lead you on, so I want you to know that I just held your hand because I'm attracted to you, but I'm not ready for a relationship. What does that mean? Sounds like he meant exactly what he said. Sorry it didn't work out, but that's what he meant. But the good news is I have had a lot of dating experience. I have failed just about any way you can. I've been rejected every way you could be rejected. And I've put intense study into figuring out what women mean. And gentlemen, now this is also for the women, but gentlemen, I have figured out what women are saying. I don't know who whistled. Was that a man or a woman? Awkward either way. All right. I have figured out what women are saying. Men, do you want to know what women are saying? Yeah. That was the most lackluster response, but thank you for your support. He wants us to say, yeah. Okay. Well, whether you like it or not, I'm going to tell you what women are saying. Okay, I'm going to set up a couple scenarios, all right? And then I'm going to say what the women would normally say, and then I'll do it again with the interpretation of what the woman actually said. Okay, scenario 1, here we go. Call the girl up. Hey Janet, this is Paul. We met at that party Friday night. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, we did. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, a couple of friends of mine were going to the Diamondbacks game on Friday. Friday night at 4. I've got an extra ticket. You want to come along? Well, you see, the thing about that is, my mom is going to be in town, and actually family's one of my highest values, and we're gonna knit shoulders, because that's how we used to connect when I was a little girl, and so yeah, Okay, you got that? Same conversation, translated into what women are saying. Hey Jen, what's going on? This is Paul. We met at the party Friday night. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I got some Diamondback tickets. Got an extra ticket. Do you want to go? No. Saves you a lot of breath, women. All right. Scenario number 2. This one's a little bit more casual. Cute girl, like in your English class or something like that. You know, lunch is right after class. You're thinking, hey, why don't I just take this girl lunch after? So here we go. Here's the scenario. Here we go. Hey, Christy, you want to go grab some lunch after class? Oh, you want to know what? I have to take my brother to the airport tomorrow. This translates a little differently. Translation. Hey, Christy, you want to go grab some lunch after class? I am not interested in you. Now you may be asking yourself the question, how come that one translates differently than no? And this is how you can know that. If the excuse she gives is somewhat relevant to what you've asked her out to, then the answer is no. If she gives an excuse that makes no sense whatsoever, that means you're a creep, get away, I'm not interested. Okay? And I figured out why. I think it's because when women in that scenario, when they've been put on the spot, they know they're not interested, but you asked them, they actually haven't had time to come up with like a valid excuse, and they don't really have one. And women, you're compassionate, thank you. I know what you're doing, you're trying not to hurt our feelings, so you lie, which is nice, thank you. And so when they're put on the spot, they just, first thing that comes to their mind. So gentlemen, if you like ask a girl out, like, hey, what are you doing Friday night? And they're like, oh, you want to know what? My uncle's fighting in Afghanistan. Do yourself a favor, move on, she's not interested. Okay? Now, the thing about dating is, I thought I had dating figured out. And I did pretty good. I am old enough that I saw the evolution of that Mark Zuckerberg creation known as Facebook. Now, I thought I was doing pretty good. I thought I had all the dating conventions figured out. You know, you get the number, you wait 3 days, you know, don't call a girl unless you actually got the number for her, otherwise she thinks you're stalking her. Make sure you wait a couple days on the date, don't do the date, don't do too much on the date, you don't want to scare her up, don't do too little, you still gotta be a gentleman, but you want to date. Like, I got most of that figured out pretty decently. And then Mark Zuckerberg was like, I'm gonna screw Paul up! And then he invented Facebook, and then it changed everything! Facebook has completely screwed up dating, because it's taken the whole reason that we date, and it's bundled it up, and it's stuck it on a Facebook page, right? We don't even have to get to know people anymore. It's like, you just look on their Facebook page, now you know their birthday, you know where they work, you know what their likes are, you know what kind of like movies they have. You can look at a history of every single place that they visited in the last 3 years, and not to mention, you actually have a historic record of everything they've ever thought. I know exactly what's been on your mind since the inception of Facebook. And it messes everything else up. Men and women, we do Facebook a little bit differently. Right? Men, we're interested in one thing, the pictures. Is she hot? Come on, find a beach picture. Come on. Come on, pool party. Come on. Okay? And the problem with that is we don't even get a chance to date anymore because it's already on Facebook. We don't need to do it. Just cut it out. We cut out the middleman. Like you'll see like a buddy of yours, be like, hey, whatever happened to that girl that you met, you know, a couple weeks ago? He's like, she's not my type. Did you go out? Nah. But she posted some camping pictures and she was holding a canteen. I'm so much more of a Camel Pack guy. I mean, obviously it's not gonna work. Women do the same thing, be like, oh, what happened to that cute boy you met? Oh, he's a player. Because women, you just don't look at the pictures. Women will read the entire comment streams. And you will analyze every single name, you will research, is this an interest? That better be a sister, otherwise. You know, can do it. So how come you're not going to go out with him? Oh, he's totally a player. Oh, no, did he cheat on you? No. But he liked 3 different girls' profile pictures in 1 month. Player. But there's one thing I'd like to change about Facebook. And this is actually my biggest concern with it, and I'm going to end on this. If I add a girl on Facebook, have I just friend-zoned myself? I mean, you think about it, I've always been concerned. Like, I meet a girl, like, I'm interested, like, romantically, like, I want to get to know her better, see if there's something there, and then the first thing is like, would you like to be friend-zoned with this girl forever? And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. Now, Facebook is really good with the relationship status thing. Like, you can have all kinds of different relationship statuses. I think that they should add an option that you can have relationship intent. Right? So before you're even friend-zoned, all right, you just go on there, you find the girl or whatever, and then you click, I would like to have a romantic relationship with you. Now, she still has the option to accept it. You know, it pops up a little notification. Paul Green has expressed a romantic interest in you. And then she can be like, you know, accept, ignore, and then she can be like, well, I do have an uncle in Afghanistan. That's for me, everybody. Good night.